Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This is Eisenherz and today we're going to have a quick look at the top 5 best cards for cEDH from the new Foundations and Foundation Jumpstart sets. This set is standard legal except for the Jumpstart cards, and it will be legal until at least 2029. So while we can't expect too many broken cards, there are certainly a few to talk about. As always, cards are in alphabetical order. Electro Duplicate. This red 3-mana sorcery allows you to create a hasty token copy of a creature you control that gets sacrificed at the beginning of your next end step. We've seen multiple of these clone effects before: Twin Flame, Heat Shimmer and Molten Duplication. All of them combo off with Dual Cast Mage, but the upside Electro Duplicate has over all of them is that it also has Flashback, which is huge in Storm decks that often wheel through a ton of cards or have to discard cards to effects like Faithless Looting. Being able to cast this from your graveyard makes it a must-play in decks that use DCM combos to close out the game. High Fae Trickster. This blue 4-mana fairy wizard has flash, flying, and allows you to cast any spell at instant speed. We've seen similar cards before, but the only ones that actually see a lot of play are the ones you can cast at instant speed. Most notably Born Upon a Wind, Valley Floodcaller, and now of course High Fae Trickster. This will be another instant speed win enabler in tons of turbo necro decks. 4 mana might be steep, but having a higher chance of hitting your instant speed enabler is very much worth it in necro lists. 9 Lives Familiar. This black 3-mana cat enters the battlefield with 9 revival counters, and anytime it dies it will come back into play at the beginning of the next end step with 1 less survival counter. Sounds interesting, but not something you'd immediately slot into a cEDH deck, right? Well, the most important part about this kitty is not its ability to revive itself, but the fact that it enters with 9 counters, allowing Tayam to use it 3 times without any further setup. I'm not by any means a Tayam expert, but this show looks very much like something the Tayam cultists would play. Rev, Tithe Extractor. This black 4-mana human rogue has some really interesting abilities. Not only does she give target creature death touch when you move to combat, but on top of that, whenever one or more of your creatures deal combat damage to an opponent, you get a treasure token, exile the top card of their library, and can play it for as long as it remains in exile. So this is kinda like a mixture of Ragavan and Dauthi Voidwalker. Potentially gaining access to 3 cards and 3 treasures every turn sounds really strong in my opinion. You just need some evasive creatures to connect with your opponents. Tiny Bones, Bauble Burglar. This black 2-mana skeleton rogue exiles all cards your opponents discard with a stash counter and allows you to play those cards on your turn while spending mana to cast those spells as if it were mana of any color. Additionally, you can pay 4 mana and tap Tiny Bones to make all of your opponents discard a card. Essentially, this turns every discard spell into card advantage. It also lets you play lands, and its ability is both disruption and card advantage at the same time. That being said, I don't know if it's good enough for cEDH, because similar commanders, for example Tergrid, already exist, but at 2 mana this little skeleton is definitely interesting. And that's it for Foundation and Foundation Jumpstart. Understandably not the strongest set for cEDH, but definitely some cards to consider for your lists. So what do you think about this set? Please let me know in the comment section below if you think I missed something or if you know some other interesting cards. As always, thanks for watching my videos, make sure to subscribe, and auf Wiedersehen.